Hello, and welcome to Nintendo's world! In the United States of the 1980s, there may as well have only been one console. The classic Nintendo Entertainment System. It was good, yes, but the Nintendo of this period more akin to a dictatorship than anything else. Monopolies, the Tetris wars, the challenges that fell to the wayside, bleeding out slowly as they gasped their last. Until the price-fixing lawsuit got them out anyways. Nintendo have great games, you can't fault them for that. Well, alright, they don't have great games, they have great franchises, disregarding some missteps. Zelda, Metroid, Super Mario, Star Fox, and so on. So what do you think? A TV show where you can watch your favourite characters kicking ass will be epic, right? Well, you could be right. Potentially it was an awesome idea. Oh, shit. If this isn't Inspector Gadget, then I'm getting the fuck out. Cue Captain N, the Game Master. From the title you can assume this means Captain Nintendo, and that he's a pretty good player. But could you have guessed that it was about a kid being sucked into his Nintendo in order to join a resistance movement against Levi Stubbs Jr.?
We're gonna do things my way, or we won't do things at all!
So yeah, Kevin, this jockey character in a Nintendo varsity jacket, is intended to be the guy that the viewer connects with, as every kid who was anyone in 1989 must have placed the dream of killing Gutsman at the top of their bucket list. Yep, I said Gutsman, the robot master from Capcom's Mega Man. Allow me to introduce you to the Blue Bomb. Oh my god.
There's a mega emergency!
You're fucking right it is!
It doesn't end there though. Not satisfied with just a Capcom license, we also have Konami on board apparently.
And this one I call pressing the shirt!
This rather camp rendition of Simon Belmont is not the most convincing of heroes, but they gave him this dumb rivalry with Kevin for the affections of the princess just because. Which princess, you ask? Peach? Zelda? Nah, that would be way too obvious. This is Princess Lana. She's in charge of the Palace of Power, but obviously her absentee father, the king, still holds a real power, because she's only a mere regent. I don't know why she had to be an original character anyways, because Nintendo were exactly hurting for a princess, other than the fact that Kevin don't get Mario's pussy. Anyways, there are more characters here too. This guy here is Pit, believe it or not. You know, from Kid Icarus. However, the writers have gone for the "I don't have a fucking clue" response by naming the character Kid Icarus and giving him a speech quirk like most of the other characters.
There's someone at the door, Kiss.
Because that was just so funny. And then there's Game Boy. I'm not even going to comment on that one. It speaks for itself.
I am called Game Boy. I am programmed to play games.
So against this awesome resistance, we must have good villains, right? Well, we have Mother Brain. Or at least a comical exaggeration of the Mother Brain we know from Metroid.
You fools! You ruined everything!
It lives on a synthetic planet that looks just like a metal brain called Metroid. No, sorry. This is a Metroid. She has the standard duo of bumbling idiots that Deke seemed to put into everything. In this we have King Hippo from Punch-Out, because Mike Tyson wasn't available, obviously. Now, Hippo was never explained to have any evil alignment in Punch-Out, was he?
But I thought...
Shut up before you get us in real trouble!
The second pointless vanguard of Mother Brain's regime is the Eggplant Wizard, a character so unremarkable it doesn't really matter which source game he came from. Okay, it's Kid Icarus. If they were going to use Kid Icarus villains, then why not use death or something that's slightly intimidating? There's a third villain who shows up from time to time too, in Mother Brain's lair, and that's Dr. Albert Viley from Mega Man. Again, he's similar to his character in the games, but isn't quite impulsive enough under the thumb of Mother Brain. There were some other recurring characters too, like Donkey Kong, who tended to fuck people's shit up whenever he appeared, and a usually nonsensical aside. Dracula from the Castlevania series appeared to give Simon someone to hate too. They didn't really do anything important though. Oh, and this is Dr. Freaking Light. I shit you not.
I've been working on a new robot that may be able to help you. I call him Garbage Man.
I called him Mega Man until I watched this. This lineup is how it went on for 2 seasons. There were alterations in the third, like the inclusion of Link, Zelda and Ganon, but they were from that other show, so nobody really cared.
Hey, excuse me, princess.
The next singers about this show are the Game Worlds. Many games, whether created by Nintendo or not, are featured, even if they don't really work as worlds like, well, Tetris. The Tetris world, for example, has a bunch of people constructed of squares that spend most of the day making bad block puns under the rule of Mayor Squaresley. It's hip to be square! Now, the chosen game basically just alters the genre of the world we enter in most instances, because the worlds that are supposed to be based on, say, Final Fantasy, Xanadu, Dragon Warrior, The Legend of Zelda, and Wizards and Warriors were essentially identical, with just some names thrown into the mix to convince the viewer that this world was a true reflection of what they had traversed in 8-bit. Now, usually each episode is self-contained and involves Kevin and the N Team beating the resident baddie within the world and then going back to the Palace of Power for bad jokes as they stare at a deified power glove, with the brains cronies thrown in at random points to provide some comic relief of a vague sort and totally mess up. Anyways, you heard me. The Palace of Power is built around a power glove.
I love the power glove. It's so bad.
Now, I can live with that, but Kevin is broken. He's so goddamn broken that it takes any credibility of him winning away. His power comes from the Nintendo products that he blatantly bandies around. A NES zapper and a control pad. Now, that doesn't sound like much initially. He can super jump by pushing up, despite the fact that no game where up is jump was ever a good idea due to the jumping mechanic not really allowing for direction at the same time as up. And I can handle that, but when he has a functioning fucking pause button, no. Just no. When things get really hard for him, he just pauses the game, freezing everyone but him in place, then changes something so that he wins. What a douchebag move! I just saw Dr. Viley defeated, not with copied Robot Master powers, but with the goddamn pause button. Can I stop watching this now? Of course, if Kevin was such a Nintendo master, then he could have got Miss Samus Aran to come in and kill Mother Brain, but for some reason she doesn't appear opposite Mother Brain the whole time. That's it. I can't watch this anymore. Don't tempt us with your crossover fiction, the holy grail of most fans of anything, and then give us stuff like this. They have a term for this, it's called cock teasing. I know these were the days of 8-bit and the characters didn't have much character, but that was really no excuse because what little they did have didn't even translate into the show. They basically just reimagined and in some cases renamed these dudes and then threw Kevin in front of them. Who cares about Kevin? That's what I get for the show. I just can't care about these ripped-off characters. This green bastard is not Mega Man. This is not Simon Belmont. This is not Nintendo. The only thing this is like The Wizard, a big fucking advert disguised as disappointing television, with writers that haven't even seen or played a Nintendo game, and they think they can just put anything down because the kids won't notice. This show could have been a lot better. It's just like, I'm a Nintendo. I reckon the money. Send us some more so I can go swimming in it and shit.
Capitalism rocks. Woohoo!
Unite, children of the 80s and 90s. Meanwhile, I'll read this, Games Master, and look. Samus Aran. She does exist.